Good evening, guys. Welcome back to SJ Sports. I am your host tonight. I go by the name of Sain Aldinho. If you didn't know already, I'm an Arsenal lover, Arsenal fan. Welcome to my panel and welcome to the viewers at home. If we can just start by introducing ourselves and who we represent as a football fan and a club that we support, and then we'll start on the main topics tonight. So, Bibi, if I start with you, if you can just give us a quick introduction, please.
Yeah, good evening, viewers. I'm Bibo, Manchester United fan, and
And then
glad to be here.
nice one. Muz, if you can just give us a quick introduction as well.
Yeah, good evening, guys. My name is Molamin, aka Mus. Um, I'm a big Chelsea fan. Don't let the red deceive you. It's just the only shirt I have right now. So, but yeah, big Chelsea fan. So I'm here to just yeah talk on
Well,
the Chelsea football.
Muz, if that's the only shirt you have, I'll give you an Arsenal top to wear next time, mate.
Nah, it's all right. I'm good. I'm good.
Thank you for that. Anyway, Van, if you just give us a quick introduction, please.
Yeah, good evening, viewers. I'm Van, and I'm a true and true Man United supporter. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Van. So tonight we're going to discuss about the Champions League matches that happened over the week. We'll base it on the English teams and their involvement and their scores and their performances, and then we'll go into the rest of the teams that we believe are in contention of winning the Champions League this season, and then we can go around and see what everyone thinks and their opinion on it. So first of all, I'd like to start with the Borussia Dortmund versus Newcastle game. Bibu, I'd like to start with you and see what you thought of the game and how Newcastle performed, and what did you think of the final score?
I think it was a good game. It was they scores. The ref played well as well. It was a good game, but Newcastle they had that opportunity. Joe Lincoln, what's his name again? He should have. Yeah, he should have buried that chance. That was the only chance they had. I think that was just critical. He should have utilized that. But it was a good game and fair results as well.
Yeah, thank you for your analysis. Like you mentioned, yeah, Joe Linton had a couple of chances, actually decent chances that he should have taken earlier, and it would have set Newcastle on a better and more positive sort of like going throughout the game. But obviously that wasn't taken. Muz, I'll move on to you next. What did you think of the Newcastle Dortmund game?
I just watched the highlights in it because this season the Champions League is not really fun for me. But one thing I would say about Newcastle, really, I think they're getting a bit stage fright. Maybe the stage is too big for them because I really expected them to do better, like the way they've been playing in the Prem. The first game against PSG, that was really good. Losing against Dortmund, I mean, I would have tipped them to beat Dortmund. I know Dortmund's got the Champions League heritage, but this is the same Newcastle team that in the Prem they would give anyone a problem. But I guess in the Champions League, it's a struggle really. It's not everyone can just go on a run in the Champions League. I guess for me as a Chelsea fan, I'm just annoyed that I was thinking they took our position, and I know we would have smoked Dortmund even in our form. But yeah, man, it's just if spots and maybes. Yeah.
I guess we only live to see that come through at this present stage, but that's a big statement to make. But anyways, thank you for your analysis on that game. Van, Borussia Dortmund 2, Newcastle 0. What did you make of the performance and the scoreline?
Yeah, just like Mose, I didn't watch the game. I didn't get to watch any Champions League game yesterday because I've had a game myself last night. But seeing the scores and the result, I wasn't really surprised. I think Newcastle, I can see them getting burnt out soon because last season they really, gave it their all by getting to top 4, and now they want to match that again with plus playing Champions League as well. We already seen that they having a couple of injuries leading up to this clash. So I think as the season goes on, they're gonna feel the effect of not having that squad depth like the big teams to compete. So yeah, that group as well is really tough because as we can see, Milan beat PSG, so it's still open, it's still up for grabs. But I think Newcastle will really struggle to qualify, in my opinion.
Thank you for your analysis, Van. With you, I'm going to have to agree with your main points in regards to squad depth and all of that stuff, injuries and whatnot. Because as you saw, Newcastle played Arsenal at the weekend, and it looked like they gave it their all, and you could see signs of fatigue throughout the whole team when they played on Tuesday. You can see the lights of Joe Linton. You can see Guimaraes. They wasn't up to scratch as to how they were playing against Arsenal and against PSG. As well as their injuries, they've got Isak who's out, who's their talisman last season and this season. You've got Tonali who's coming into depth and quality in that midfield. He's been banned for a couple of longer than a couple of months, actually, almost a year. You can see they're missing that. Fair enough, they've got Joe Willock who's come back, but he's just getting up to speed as he's been injured for a long time. And they're obviously missing Botman in the back. You know, he's solid. You saw how important he was for them last season in terms of getting points on the table and qualifying for Champions League. But yeah, it was a really good game. To be fair, Sabitzer had a really good game for Borussia Dortmund. He he played out of his stocks. He was a different player to what I saw of him at Manchester United. So yeah, it was a really good game. To be fair, it's just a shame for Newcastle fans and the club itself that they didn't take their chances and put themselves in a sort of like up there to take all 3 points or even get something out of the game. So now they're going to have to battle really hard to go through either second position or even win the group itself. So we'll move on to the Man City and Young Boys. Man City 3, Young Boys 0. Bibu, what did you make of the scoreline and the game? Is that what you were expecting?
Well, yeah, more than that. The scoreline, I was expecting more, but it is a fair result. And the Young Boys just put up the fight, but they couldn't keep up. But it was a good game. I mean, City are on form, honestly, and they've got the squad and they've got the energy throughout the wing and any position. So they could. I think they're still favourite to win it. It's still early, but with this squad strength they've got, I think they're favourite.
Thank you for your analysis, Bibu. Yeah, it was a really good game. I saw the game as well, and yeah, I thought City played really well. Moses, City 3, Young Boys 0. What did you make of the scoreline and performance?
Yeah, it's just what I expected from City, really. They, for me, well, they easily qualified from the group, and City are a threat. They are one of the favourites. So, as someone who's supposed to be a neutral, there are two teams that would absolutely break me if they win the Champions League. And City is one, because I don't want them to equal us, and the other one is Arsenal. When these two teams have gone out of the Champions League, then I can relax and enjoy a game of football. But as long as these two teams are in there, yeah, it's stressful times for me still. So, but I'd rather City win it though, if I had to really pick. So, but City are favourites. I don't see any other team in the Champions League that has, maybe Real Madrid because they have the heritage, but yeah, I would say City are favourites, so I expect them to beat Young Boys.
Thank you for your analysis. Yeah, I guess
A biased analysis, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're gonna stay stressed until obviously Arsenal and City get
Just
knocked out.
Arsenal. Just when Arsenal comes out, I'll be, yeah. You see
know-
me in the group.
Do you know what? It's funny you mentioned that actually because it's almost the reverse of what happened to us last season. We were really good in the league, but we couldn't take that form and consistent into Europe, even though we were playing in the Europa League. But this season, it looks like we've got a better form in the Champions League than we do in the Premiership. We see more sort of like fluid football and silky football in the Champions League, and then we see more scrappy wins and whatnot in the Premier League. So it's quite interesting. I hope that we start kicking on and we start playing a bit more fluid and start replicating the Champions League form into the league. But we'll see. Time will tell. Van, what did you make of the City performance and their squad depth, their strength, their confidence, and their swagger in the Champions League?
Yeah, City, as the boys already rightly mentioned, they are the team to beat again, not just in the Prem, but in the Champions League as well, because they've got what it takes to have a good squad to keep competing at all four fronts. That's one thing I always keep talking about it in regards to Pep. He doesn't just wait until he needs certain players to get them like now. He always premeditate what he needs the next 3-4 years. We've seen it with the likes of Mahrez. We've seen it with the likes of Gundogan, Sterling. Every time, like, they will have a good season, and then you'll be thinking, oh, next season these lot are gonna be bossing that position again, and next minute you will see him replace them with another person and then bring that competition. Hence the reason why it's very, very difficult for them to fall short compared to other squads. Like you rightly mentioned before we started talking about Arsenal. When you have injuries from certain players, then the team just feel different. But City is just beast in that aspect. So yeah, I expected them to beat Young Boys comfortably. I was disappointed though that our Gambian brother Ibrahim Akoli didn't get to play. Yeah, but apart from that, I know it was going to be an easy game for City.
Thank you for that analysis, Ban. I think I agree on some points in regards to their depth and how Pep premeditates what players he should refresh in certain positions and whatnot. However, I would disagree with the fact that their quality coming on is still sort of like top notch. Because for me, I think City were strongest last season than they are this season. Because the likes of Kovacic and Nunes, they aren't cutting it for me. Like, they're still good players, don't get it twisted. Still good players, still quality players. But for me, Gundogan was different class. He brought goals, he brought stability, he brought experience, he brought so many different things to the table. And you saw when Man City was struggling, leadership on top of that. You saw when Man City hit adversity, he came out with the goals, he came out with the assists, he came out with the magical moments to push him on. And we saw in the FA Cup final when they were struggling to put the ball behind the net because Man United were sitting back. He came out with a magical moment to open up the game and make Man United sort of like come out and play. So with him, and if you compare him to Kovacic, is different in qualities. It makes them weaker than stronger, if in my personal opinion.
But the thing is, though, I hear what you're saying. City, I feel like they've downgraded a little bit, but even with that downgrade, they're still, for me, ahead of everyone with their squad.
Yeah,
I don't
of course.
see any team that's like close to him close to City with their squad there. So that's why even in the Champions League, I don't see any team there that I feel like fully just confident that if they go against City man for man, they will be able to take them. I'm not all that impressed with Bayern, Madrid,
Of course,
maybe, definitely
don't
not Barcelona. So I don't see any other team.
Of course not. Don't get interested. I'm not saying they're still not the top team to beat. They still are, but in my view, they're still they're not as strong as they were last season because of the quality in certain departments have obviously been
But I
changed.
could say the same thing about Arsenal, though. I could say you downgraded by getting Havertz in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand, but we're talking about Man City here as a team and the
Oh.
the go-to team to beat to win that Champions League. I still think they're favourites to win it, but what I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to put across is, they're not as strong as they were last season because they've lost Gundogan, they've lost Riyad Mahrez, they've lost
Big losses, yeah.
yeah, Laporte and
Even Kevin De
Well,
Bruyne. But look at it
yeah,
this way. That's true. That's the point. But you can see that Pep has been a manager here. He's twitched it up a little bit because now you see he's playing with both Alvarez and Haaland, because he knows he doesn't have that quality in Kovacic or the new lad that he signed to be bumping forward and unlocking this stuff. So they are sitting back because he knows that they don't have the quality. Hence the reason why he's playing Alvarez. Look at Alvarez, the amount of goals he's contributed. And Doku now, you know, he's completely changed, you know, not completely like Man City's style of play, but he's brought in something else to give teams to think about. So he knows that he lost that quality in midfield, but he's replacing it with something else.
Yeah, fair enough. That's fair enough. I guess they're still the top team to beat anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, we'll move on to the Copenhagen versus Manchester United game. Obviously, that game finished 4-3 to Copenhagen, and Man United finished with 10 men. They were 2-0. They were leading Copenhagen by 2-0 and ended up losing the lead. 2 penalties were given, one each to both teams for handball, and Copenhagen ended up nicking the win and got all 3 points, which sends Man United bottom of the group. I'll start with you, Bibu. What did you make of your team's performances and the final score?
I didn't watch the full game, but it's just I think we were unlucky as well. VAR play. It was a controversial game, but and that made a difference in the game. So I can't say much, but we just unlucky yesterday. That's what I'm gonna say, because we were leading and everything was all right until we start, when then we got sent off and everyone started losing it all over the place. So yeah, we were
So,
just unlucky.
from what I've seen and heard from people, fans, Man United fans in particular, they seem to have some fans are blaming Rashford for the challenge and being sent off. That cost you the game because you were a man down, and other fans are blaming the likes of Dallo. He's defending questionable at certain times because of the lack of awareness of certain players around him and his area of defense. What did
Position.
you what did you think?
I think for the Rashford one is really harsh, because you can see it wasn't intentional. You know, these red cards are red card when it's intentional or when you pretending that you've seen the person and then pretend that you haven't seen it and then end up hurting the person. But you can clearly tell that was not intentional, and that spoiled the game. So I think it'll be harsh for United fans. Yes, he owned up and said, "Oh yeah, apologies," for him making the game difference on the game, but it's not his fault. And
Yeah,
with Dallo, I think Dallo is just he's losing his confidence now. He's not a good bad player. Don't get me wrong, he's a good player, but he's losing his confidence. When you start playing bad games and then you start getting blamed, and you're now losing confidence every game without busting up your confidence. You keep making silly mistakes, and that is what is happening to Dallo now. And we don't have anyone to play in that position right now. We got the injuries, amount of injuries we've got, and don't forget we've got like so many injuries. Sure, could have made a difference as well, but yeah, we're just unlucky.
Bibi, thank you for that. Yes, I can see some of the points you made. Very valuable points. Um, next, I'd like to move on to you, Van, before I go to Muz. In terms of the result, and in terms of people blaming Rashford for the challenge, and people blaming Dallo for his positioning, his awareness, his defending. For me, you know, the referee has to protect players, even though it's not intentional. The foul wasn't intentional, but so is a handball in a box. If it's not intentional, they'll still give it. You still get punished because it's considered breaking the laws of the game. So you get punished with the fitted punishment for the the foul or the handball or whatever. I've seen the challenge. I definitely believe it wasn't intentional. He wasn't looking at the player. But at the same time, if you played that devil's advocate, he could have broken that player's leg and he would have been out a year or a whole season. So the ref obviously has to apply the punishment that fits the crime, to be honest. And then with Dallo, do you also believe as a Man United squad, they need to have those leaders in certain areas of the pitch to communicate with Dallo maybe? If you've done it once or twice, we've seen Roy Keane in the past. If Gary Neville or Phil Neville or whoever their fullbacks were, if they're not playing up to scratch or they're letting players in or not defending accordingly, you can see him on the pitch. He's having a go at you. He's telling you, right, sort it out. Don't mess around. This is a big game, you know. But we're not seeing that from Bruno Fernandes. We're not seeing that from the likes of Harry Maguire or Varane. We're not seeing those things. Has Man United lost that sort of like mentality and that sort of like club value, in your opinion?
Yeah, thanks for that, Danny. In regards to this result, yeah, as people mentioned, you know, you can say that we were a bit unlucky in terms of the Rashford red card. But as you mentioned, you know, it's harsh, but everyone knows that he didn't mean it. But at this day and age, you're gonna get sent off for that. The handball in the box, I don't think the Harry Maguire handball was supposed to be given. But then again, you know, sometimes you have these decisions go against you. But that being said, Man United as a team shouldn't be losing a 2-0 lead, even with 10 men, against the likes of Copenhagen. But that just shows you how poor the team has been. There's no cohesion, there's no leadership, and it's mistakes everywhere on the pitch. Coming to Dallo, he's been making so many mistakes, especially this season. And the thing that pisses me off most is it's almost similar. Yesterday wasn't just the first game that he's letting his man get to the ball when he doesn't know his whereabouts. He did it with Newcastle as well when they scored their first goal, because he looked at what's the Newcastle flank player's name again? Almiron. He looked at him. He knew that guy started sprinting, and he was jogging. You don't understand what I mean? And then by the time he reacted, he was already in the box. And there was another game this season as well when the ball was switched back post, where he was supposed to man mark the player, and he missed it completely. Yesterday he did the same. I can understand he's playing as a left back and he's right-footed, but that's not an excuse. He's an experienced player now. He's gone to Milan, you know, did what he did there. He's not a young player anymore, so he needs to get a grip. I know we are unlucky in terms of injuries as well. We have so many injuries, but there's so many things that is going off the pitch as well. Because yesterday, Varane as well, he came on like he was kind of sobbing, and I don't think he had a good game, because I don't know what's going on there. Probably, you know, in a couple of weeks something will come out, but I feel that there's something that's not right with Varane. I don't know whether it's with the manager, or I don't know whether he's not happy, you know, the way things are going. But, you know, as you mentioned, when we used to have the likes of Rio, the likes of Keane and them lot, we had leadership. We had leaders in on the pitch. you know, you people will scream at you if you don't sort it out. But nowadays, I don't see that happening. And you can't say that we have World Cup winners, mate. We have Champions League winners in that team. But for some reason, it's just like, nobody cares. So yeah,
Does that
so
have
the
anything to
result
do with
was
the
happening.
manager?
Say again?
Does that have anything to do with the manager though? He can see all of these things that we are seeing as fans. How come
Yes.
he's not addressing it on the pitch? And he's
He's
the one
gonna
who sees Bruno Fernandes as your captain.
Yes, 100%. He's gonna have to take, some sort of a blame in whatever the results are, regardless of what's happening on and off the pitch. Because at the end of the day, he's the one that picks the team. He's the one that put them out there. But you're gonna have to feel sorry for him as well, if you look at it at the bigger picture. Because there, as I mentioned last week, there are so many players there that were not supposed to be in his plans for this season, and he had to, motivate them at, in some levels for them to give 100%. Do you know what I mean? And everything that's going, off the pitch, there's nothing in terms of the sale that is concrete. You know what I mean? And all these, comes back to the preparation, to, the mindset on the pitch. So yeah, he's gonna have to, take some blames, because sometimes I don't really agree with his tactics or his when he selects the squad. But at the end of the day, we are in trouble. We going through tough times.
Yeah, but I think I've mentioned about before you can move to Mose. I think you've mentioned about this Varane situation, right? And this is where I don't agree with Ten Hag, the way he deals with his players. Now, obviously, there's something going on because hence the reason why he's been left out that the past two games, and the way reacted to the changes, he wasn't happy, and you clearly can see he's not happy. And those decisions, I think another person mentioned that before the game, and this is where you question what's going on in that place, because I'm not having Varane sitting on that bench when you've got to choose Harry Maguire and Evans and leave Varane on the bench. That is something that is a big alarm ringing there. So I don't know what's going on, but he needs to sort it out because we need to start winning games.
Thank you for that. Appreciate your input, guys, both Bibo and Van. Muz, just as I approach you for your analysis on that game, as a Chelsea fan, right, your mentality isn't right on the pitch. Defenders are making mistakes. Players aren't playing up to scratch. Would you say your manager should, pull these guys to the side and say, right, you need to sort it out. What's going on? You need to sort it out, because once you put on that shirt, you're representing the badge, the club, and the fan base. So there's certain things that are not acceptable. If you're not doing that, you're not getting a space on that starting lineup. Do you think it's the responsibility of the manager to do that, or is it your captain on field making those sort of like big voice sort of demands of your players?
I, um, I would say it's more on the captain. And the reason why I say this here is because everyone's talking about the Rashford red card here. But for me, United didn't lose the game because of Rashford. United lost the game because 10 minutes to go, you guys were winning 3-2. I don't care. You have 10 men. You should be able to see that game out. So the fact that the game went to 4-3, that is just embarrassing. That's very embarrassing. Like for a team like United, you lost the game because your players lost their head. There was no leadership in that team, and literally, and the players just weren't fighting for the badge. And you could say, I remember a time when we had Rafa Benitez as our manager, but we had players like John Terry on the pitch. We had your Didier Drogba. We had leaders on the pitch, and that would actually tell the manager off. Like was at one time he started talking about Liverpool, and then we lost one FA Cup, and then he was talking like it was all okay. We said no, that's not okay. But United just don't have any leaders on the pitch. When you're 10 men down, when you're a man down with 10 minutes to go and you're winning 3-2 in a Champions League game, the fact that you didn't even get a draw, that is the talking point for me. That shows to me that, well, the players have got used to that losing feeling, or they just don't care or not really fighting for the badge or the manager. So either way you see it, it's not a good look on the manager. And if this continues, as much as I agree that it's not all down to Ten Hag, but if this continues like this and the players don't fight for him, he's not going to stay there for long. So, and I don't really know which manager can really turn this around for United, because for me, you just need to rip it up and start it again. And I know he's saying, just I think United should really do what Chelsea are doing. Do it properly. Like all of this, trying to get like players that have gone past it and you're overpaying for them. Like they're just there to collect their money, and you lot overpay so much for these unproven youngsters. And like once you give someone 300 bags there, like they don't have the motivation to work for you anymore. They know their money is sorted. Sancho's there playing PlayStation. You know, how can your highest paid player be at home on a Champions League night when you need him on the pitch? That just don't make any sense.
Yeah,
So
thank you so much, Mos, for your analysis. I think as a Chelsea fan, though, it's a bit rich coming from you saying, paying too much for unproven young talent, because
no, there's a difference. There is a
you've got the likes,
difference. If you look at our wage bill,
two seconds.
because I see what you're trying to do there.
You've got the likes of Mudryk, right? He's young, unproven, and he's getting eight years contract on high wages, and he's not been performing for you. Maybe he scored a few goals here and there, but he's not scored more than Sancho for United. He scored 2 goals, I believe, for Chelsea, and Sancho scored more. So, as a Chelsea fan, saying that it's a bit rich, but I get your point. I appreciate your analysis on that one.
No,
We'll move
no,
on.
no, no. I have to respond to that. I have to respond to that because everything you just said is
We'll come back
factually
to you at the
incorrect.
end of the show.
No,
We'll
no,
come
no,
back.
no. I can't let
We
it
need to,
go
we need to,
because
move, we need to move on. We need to move on.
first, Mudryk is on.
We need to move on. Sorry, Moose. We need to move on that one. I'll welcome Pamuru onto
Yeah,
the.
big up, man.
Um, just
Yeah.
quickly before I ask you to give your take on the game, just for our viewers at home, can you make a quick introduction of who you are and who you support?
Yeah, man. It's PM Pamodu or Pam's support, of course, the biggest team in England, top two in the world with Real Madrid, only Man United, cut me, I'll bleed Manchester Red. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for your introduction, Pams.
You're welcome.
We were just talking about the Champions League games over the week, and as a Man United fan,
Right.
how do you see the performance of your team, and what do you make of the scoreline at the end of the game?
Well, the performance, I heard what Mus was saying, but the players were fighting. But the problem is, majority of the players, this is their level. So they were trying their best, but they just bottle jobs. I told man about Delo as well, yeah? That guy, yeah? I swear to God, summer, I'm getting rid. That guy is rubbish. We have too many rubbish players, and this is the fact. So, like yesterday, I felt like we were missing people like Casemiro, man. Big time. We were missing people like Lisandro Martinez. That's the type of game like Martinez thrives on. But then again, you gotta look at it this way, man. How many teams are gonna lose 3 of their starting back 4, yeah, and still cope? They're not like not a lot of teams. City lost Rodri and lost 3 games in a row. So I don't know many teams. Arsenal. Imagine Arsenal losing Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, or Ben White, Saliba, and whoever the left back is. You're gonna struggle. You're not gonna play as you are now. So context, man. For me,
100%.
if you back on the game, you can see yesterday, and this is what I was trying to tell Bibu for a long time. Yeah, like once we get our players back, just one guy, one Bissaka. I know we conceded 4 goals and all of that, but you can just see the difference, man. Not only defensively, but attacking as well. One Bissaka has improved so much. So I feel like we control the game, but then again, once Rashford got sent off, I just knew. I knew because it's not even nothing to do with Ten Hag. It's nothing to do with this season. I know these. I know these players. I've been watching them for a long time. I remember the Sevilla No, not Sevilla. Villarreal Europa League final. They scored. They got back in the game, and they had like 10 minutes or the 90 minutes, and they had full extra time. They couldn't win. So this team is full of bottle jobs. Um, for me, the manager is working miracles with what he has now. Like, because I know these guys. These guys are not good enough in terms of the game. Yes, I agree with Mus. Once you're 3-2, I think it's 80th minute, 10 minutes left, man. The manager can only do so much. You guys, as professionals on the pitch, you've got to manage the situation better. They did not manage the situation better. I didn't see anyone buying fouls. I didn't see anyone screaming at each other, telling them to get in position. I saw nothing. And Rafael Varane, yeah, he's a waste man. Yeah, I'm gonna say this about Varane. He's a waste man. Big, you know what? And I love the player. I love the player. Yeah, but bro, you got dropped. You got dropped here because you come in one match, injured another. There's no rhythm. You got dropped, and next thing you know, you come back. You're sulking. You're sulking, and that pass, you gave away the ball like that, bro. This guy was playing like he got two left legs, two left feet. So for me, January, see you later, mate. Go to Saudi, man. We need to replace you with younger centre backs. Yeah, go to Saudi. See you later, and take the low with you as well, man. I'm
No,
sick
no,
of
no,
this.
no, no. Come on, Pam, Pam. You've got to look at this, right? Yeah,
People come on, man.
yeah. I understand he's injury prone. Yeah, I get that. But he is the best centre back we've got. Honestly,
I agree.
he's with his experience and everything. But this is where you cannot put these guys on the bench because they can't stand. They're not used to it. These players' mentality of winning. They're winners. They cannot sit on the bench where you play Maguire ahead of him, and they're sitting there.
Okay.
Come on, they can't take it, and this is where it affects them on the pitch.
100%. I agree with you, but people, this is the thing, yeah. You gotta realize, uh, for a team, for 11 to function, they gotta have rhythm and they gotta get used to each other. Yeah, I have no doubt if Varane was fit from the start of the season till now, like Maguire has been, he would be starting. But the manager's looking at it like, I can't trust you. I'm sorry. Yeah, cool. You won 5 Champions League, whatever. That's all nice, yeah. But you're telling me that mistake he done was because he was on the bench. Did you see
No,
it?
no,
There
no.
was no pressure on the guy, yeah. He took a touch and passed the ball straight back to the opponent. 5 Champions
Modu,
League
can
experience.
I just
Guy's a disgrace,
can
man.
I just cut you there? Just to echo both what you and Habib were saying, is that I agree with you in terms of these guys are professionals, right? If you've come back from injury and the person who stepped up when you've been absent is playing well, you're a professional footballer. You should be able to handle them starting over you because the manager's got to go with the team and the player who's been playing well whilst you've been off injured. You can't just come back and straight away go into the team. You have to earn your place back. So I definitely agree with Ten Hag
This is
starting.
it. This is it. That's not an excuse. Like it's not an excuse. And the thing is, the funny thing is, yeah, Varane. We look since last season when we started playing out from the back. When Wan Bissaka, Varane, Martinez, Luke Shaw was there, the weakest link on the ball was Varane. He's not good at, with the ball at his feet. So for me, I'm not surprised like he done that, but the manner that he done it was just shocking to me. So anyway, we passed that, we concede, and then next thing you know, like we concede again. Diogo Dalot, man, that's Sunday League defending. And the thing is, these man, like people, you're laughing, yeah, you're laughing, but I'm
You
telling you,
don't like the
this
guy. You
guy,
don't. I understand you don't like the player, but
no, he's a disgrace. No, no, no. It's not even about liking the player. This guy's a disgrace. Can you believe, yeah? When Ten Hag came in, he was the number one first choice right back. He played for about 2 months, yeah? No injury, no nothing, yeah? And when we would take him off, Ten Hag would bring Malasia to play right back. So everyone was saying, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is done. But Bissaka put his head down. He worked so hard. And now he's displaced you for the right back position. Bro, this guy can't even lace Cancelo's boots. No wonder he shouldn't even play for. I'm telling you, yeah. We have for so long, Man United, we've overrated these bang average players. There's too many bang average players earning good money, bro. We have too many. I'm telling you, we need a complete clearer. People like Delo. You know what? big up McTominay, man. Big up Scott McTominay, because when things are hard, yeah, when the chips are down, this guy stands up. He knows what is. He may not have the best ability, but McTominay shows up. He's from the academy and he plays. But the rest of the other guys, yeah, I'm telling you, like Ralph Rangnick said, 10 players, 10 people, 10, including your boy Sancho, by the way. These are don't let get me started on him.
Thank you for your analysis there.
Yeah.
You've shed a light on so many issues Man United is obviously going through. Because I'd just like to give you the opportunity to make from my earlier comment. You mentioned, sorry, 2 seconds. You mentioned too many young players, unproven young players at Man United are earning high wages and they're being bought for high prices. However,
Not young players, not only young players.
I said to you, as a Chelsea fan, it's a bit rich coming from you because
Almost.
you see the likes of Lavia, you see the likes of Caicedo, Mudryk, Jackson, so many players are on very high wages for very long terms, like 8 years. I'd like to give you the opportunity now to make a response to that comment, and how do you back yourself with that statement you made when your club is doing the same exact thing but even worse on steroids, I would say.
Well, I wouldn't say it's worse, because for us, our highest paid player is Sterling, who is on 300 grand. And I would say that's very well deserved based on what he's done in his career. You mentioned all these young players that we're signing. Yes, we signed a lot of young players, but they're not on big wages, and they signed very long contracts as well. So it's a very calculated risk that Chelsea is taking with this. You could the only thing that you could say, they could end up not working, but if they don't work, then they go 8-year contract and we can't sell them off for a profit. So Chelsea is very much business minded, and I get how we run. I'm just saying I don't see the same thing when it comes to United. So for a club that's, when Sancho, like I mentioned, your highest paid player is not playing, and he's playing and he's at home for being disciplined, that really does not make sense for the club or for the player, and it's not really helping the team. So
yeah, can I also,
right now,
can I put this
Sally,
across
can I
to you?
respond to that, please?
2 seconds,
No,
2
no.
second model.
I wanted to say.
I'll come back to you.
Go ahead.
Guys, 2 seconds. Just in regards to that, anything above 100k a week is high wages. You don't need to be on 300k to be on high wages.
how much is
High
Eddie
wages is
Nketiah on again?
Sorry?
How much did you give Eddie Nketiah?
100k.
100k, yeah.
100k. Okay,
that's
would
what
you
I'm saying.
believe me?
Just
He's
2
on the
seconds.
same wages as.
2 seconds. Let me just put my point
Let
across.
him finish. Oh,
You'll have the chance to respond. So what I'm saying to
go
you
on.
is, you don't necessarily need to be on 300k to be on high wages. Anything above 100k is a high wage, because you're calculating how much you're getting in a year, and that's equivalent to millions after a whole season. And depending on what years you've got signed up to, if you're playing bad, no one's interested in buying you. These players can just sit there and be like, I'm not going anywhere. I've got this for 8 years. I'll collect 100k a year, and I'm not going anywhere. So if anything, you're in a more riskier position than Man United, because Sancho's Sancho might be on 300k a year, but he might be on like a 3-year contract, 4-year contract. If he decides to run that out, he can run it out in 4 years and leave. But someone on 200k, 300k for 8 years, it's a long time and it's very risky.
Danny, what I was gonna say, hold on. What I was gonna say, when
let Mus just respond to that, and then I'll move on to you.
Like I mentioned, Sterling is our highest paid player. You look at Sterling, and then there's a big drop off to the rest of the players. Yes, we've got these young players, and there's a big difference. Let's not act like there's not a massive difference between 300k to 100k. These are footballers at the end of the day. If they don't get it at Chelsea, they'll go somewhere else where they would get paid even more. And you compare Chelsea's wages to the rest of the Prem, we're not high up that list. And that's because we've got a lot of young. We know we have to negotiate the wages once we start doing well. But for right now, what we're paying them for being a footballer, I think is fair for these young. And let's not act like we sign bombs. Let's not act like we sign players that you wanted Mudryk. Liverpool wanted Caicedo and Lavia. Enzo, I'm pretty sure everyone would have gone for Enzo. So we signed very good players and we signed them on wages that, for me, is manageable for the club, and they're on big contracts. So everyone's talking like there's a big difference between the money you pay for a club, a transfer fee, to the wages. People are just looking at the transfer fees that we're paying and just assuming that we have all of these on big wages. We actually don't. Sterling is our highest paid player on 300k. Apart from that, everyone is on 100k plus. So
Mus, thank you.
that's very
Yeah,
different.
I'm gonna have to move you on from there. Yeah, thank you.
And
We
an
get the point.
example, Mason Mount, my last point, Mason Mount left Chelsea because we wouldn't put him on a high wages. He went to United where he's on 250k. That was too much for Chelsea. That's why he left Chelsea. So,
Okay, thank you so much for your point. Palmer, we'll move on to you quickly.
Yeah,
Before we
quickly. What I want to say, what I want to say, most talking about Sancho is a bad look for United. I think it's a great look for United. I think this is a manager that doesn't take nonsense, and it doesn't matter if you're on 300k or 30k a week. He's saying it's either his way or you get out. So I think this is the beginning. This is the beginning of something good. But at the start, it's going to be rough. Sir Alex had it very hard at the start. It's going to be rough. You know what I'm saying? Like, not every player took to Sir Alex Ferguson when he first came, but eventually they got the message. So I think this is exactly what, even like, it's good for the young players that are coming. Ganacho is on £25,000 a week. He sees that, look, I step out of line, I'm out. So this is the sort of things we need at United. So I'm happy this is happening. I couldn't care less if Sancho's playing or not. He doesn't add anything anyway. So people will tell you different though. So I don't know.
thank you,
That's
Palmer.
all.
Thank you for your point. We appreciate that. We're gonna have to recycle things quickly so we don't leave too many people waiting for too long.
Yeah.
I'd like to introduce our latest addition to the panel. Alka, can you quickly just give us an introduction of who you are and who you support, please?
Well, I support Arsenal, and I'm sure everybody, whether the viewers or the panel, everybody knew what team I support. So I support Arsenal, innit? Biggest team in London, man. Come on, man.
Thank you for that, Alka. So, Alka, we were basically just going around talking through the Champions League games over the week, during the week, and we're currently on the Man United game. I don't know if you saw the game or not, but what do you make of the results, the performances, and talking points, the red cards, the penalties, and obviously the defending of the Manchester United back four, should I say? Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, you're talking to me? Sorry. Yeah, I can hear you.
Did you catch what I asked?
Yeah. You've been talking about United. Basically United's defeat last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I was watching the game, but I was not watching it like full. I was watching it half and half. 1 minute I'm focusing. 1 minute I'm focused on my game. I was more focused on my game up to, because what happened is, I think United's game there was a stop start, so they added more minutes towards the end. So when Arsenal went up to 80 something to 89 minutes, I'm like, you know what? I think Arsenal win this game 2-0. At the time it was 2-0. So I was like, you know what? Let me focus on United's game. So I was watching the United's game on my phone. So I didn't see the tackle until I didn't even see the tackle until after the game. I saw it on Twitter. But from what I heard, it's like, for me, when I watched the tackle back, I said it's soft. And I said it. I said he was unlucky, to be honest. He was not tempted to injure the player. But like we always say about it, like, especially me, I'm too critical about these referees. So I think that's a yellow, personally. And then moving into the game, yes, some people say, when you play 10 men, it's more harder than when you play 11 men. So I think United should have defended better, especially they went up to 3-2. So when they went up to 3-2, I'm like, this time I think United will end up winning this game, because we're Copenhagen, this team are shocking. Boy, you have 10 men here and you still conceding goal. I know it's a penalty, but still they should be doing better at home. So they end up giving United that fire to come back to the game. So when United went 3-2, I'm like, they would do well. But after the way they defended, and I saw one day, I think Maguire passed it to, what's it called? This defender, Varane. And Varane, I don't know, give it to the Copenhagen player, and then they end up scoring that goal. You know, I remember when Man U signed this Varane. I have a lot of I heard from a lot of United fans that say, "Boy, Varane is a World Cup winner. We all know he's a World Cup winner. He's a Champions League winner. We all know that. But there's a reason why Real Madrid left this Varane to go to United because of Real Madrid realized Varane's age is there and he's not gonna give them any more. He's not gonna give them game time. He's gonna be like he's more injury pro. So they're like, you know what? What United offer, we'll take it. We'll take it right now. And the same thing happened to Casemiro. You know, like I said this a year ago, and I said Casemiro is good for now, but Casemiro is not good for long term. And what I said last year is proven right now. I know last year we had the debate of Partey, Casemiro. I think they've both been, especially Partey, has been injury pro. But if you look at Casemiro is not up to the physical of the Premier League. His body is not giving that physicality anymore because the Premier League is quick. You understand? So I think United made a mistake. For me personally, they made a mistake of buying Casemiro and Varane. They both finished. You know, the signing of Martinez, that's a good signing. Because you know why? Martinez is young, he's quick, he'll give United in the next 6-7 years, he'll give them 7 seasons or even 8. You know, so I think when this manager came in, he should have gone for young and experienced players. I understand that the board were not backing him and all this, you know, we all have this, you know, argument and all this, but I think this manager should have not signed. Whether the manager signed him or the board signed him, I don't know, but they should not even get this Casemiro guy. Because this is proven. Casemiro gave the only 1 season, and where's Casemiro now? He's not up to the level of the physicality. And Varane the same. Varane is never fit. He's never fit when United needed him. So they end up playing Maguire and Evans. And I think Evans has been harsh. He played well for the past game that I watched. He played well. So I don't know why he dropped Evans. Maybe he's injured or something. But United, they have to do more better, man. Honestly, they have to improve, you know, especially. And I think I don't know if they're gonna qualify for the next round. You know, it's looking likely. But if they do, then they have to improve in January. They have to go in January and add players, add like young players, not young, but experienced. So that's I don't want to be saying a lot here because if I have to continue, I'm gonna say a lot about United.
Yeah. Thank you for your analysis. We appreciate that. I just want to put this across to the panel. When it comes to refereeing and fouls and punishments that are issued, I just want to make this clear. To have a very consistent system in place, it shouldn't matter about the intention. It should matter about the contact that's been made. Because if, for example, we all know Rashford didn't mean to make that tackle, but if that tackle was made on Saka, all Arsenal fans are saying, send him off. We don't care if he was looking at Saka or not. So this is where players should be protected. And in terms of getting a consistent baseline for all sort of like crimes fitted with the right punishment, we need to look at it. If the player makes the contact and the contact is wrong, i.e., if you've come off the ground, your studs are showing, and you've made contact with the player, it shouldn't matter if you made if your intentions were to hurt the player, or you're looking at the player, or you didn't see him. So we as the law book says, if you lead with your studs showing, you're off the ground, it's a reckless and dangerous play, foul play. You deserve to go off for that. So we need to protect players in this sense. Rashford didn't mean to make that tackle. He wasn't looking at the player. He was trying to shield the ball from the player. He made a very dangerous tackle that could have left that player hurt badly and could have been out for the rest of the season. So the punishment fits the crime. If any Arsenal player, if Havertz's tackle on Dan Burn made any sort of contact with Dan Burn's leg and he was leading off the floor, I would be the first person to be like, he deserves to get sent off, because that's what the law book says. So we need to protect players in terms of longevity. And we've seen our own Arsenal players lose sort of like a whole season because they've been on the wrong end of a really bad challenge and they've broken their legs and it's affected their careers. Look at Aguado, for example. He had an injury-ending career. Ramsey nearly had the same one at Stoke with Ryan Shawcross. So we need to just keep that on a baseline so we know, it's biased for us, because if it's our team and our players, we want to protect them and say, oh, he didn't mean to, so it was too soft, this, that, and that.
But the
But
Rashford
You know
one
what? You
wasn't a
know what?
tackle,
Say
though,
it.
thing.
No, you know
The
what? Say
Rashford
it.
one wasn't a tackle. You're
No,
saying
no. You know what I want to say?
tackle.
What I want to say, Modu,
It
quickly.
wasn't.
What I want to say, saying it, yeah. When I saw, basically, like I said, I was watching the game, but I got like a notification. So it shows me red card. I'm like, Rashford. I'm like, I was shocked. I was surprised. I'm like, Rashford normally don't get red card. What did he do until he get this red card? But when I went back the tackle, I'm like, oh, but I said still, I don't think it's a red because he was unlucky. He was trying to guard the ball. Like he was trying to open up. But I think Rashford will learn from this as well. He will learn from this. Maybe next time, instead of using your leg, you can use your body. Put your body on the player and then yeah. But he will learn from this.
We'll move on from this anyway. We've got another game to look at. So Arsenal finished the game at home 2-0 against Sevilla. Obviously, a highly rotated side and loan confidence as well came to the Emirates and lost 2-0. We usually know they are a very good footballing team, but their performance showed otherwise. Van, you've been waiting a long time. I'd like to start with you first and see what your opinion of the result and the performance if you saw the game.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't see Arsenal's game. I didn't see the highlights either. But a 2-0 win for Arsenal was a really good result for them, and they should easily qualify from that group. The question is, from December, whether they can keep up with, if they don't add obviously to their squad, whether they can keep up with the demands of the Champions League and the Premier League. Because in my opinion, last season, obviously Arsenal were great, and this season they need to match that at least. But at the minute, obviously we have the likes of Liverpool and Tottenham pushing, they're up there as well. So there's going to be fierce competition. It's not going to be. I don't think it would be like a two-horse race, like last year. So yeah, it was a good result for Arsenal anyway. So far they've been getting the results, even though I'm still not convinced in terms of the way they're playing, whether this will be sustainable going forward for them to challenge for trophies and stuff. But they're still grinding the results out. So yeah.
Thank you, Van, for your analysis of the game and weeks to come on Arsenal's games ahead and competitions they're still involved in. I'd just like to encourage the panel that we just keep it short and sweet so that we can move on, because we still haven't spoken about a big game that's coming up on the weekend, Man City and Chelsea. So next, I would like to move on to Bibu. What did you make of Arsenal's result and performance?
But Bibu is very negative when it comes to Arsenal, but not ask Bibu, man.
Yeah, let's give him a chance. Okay, let's give him a chance.
I'll say fair play to Arsenal last night. So they've put up a good game, and I've watched the highlights today. It was a good game, but are they going to be consistent? That's the question with Arteta and all these. But it's not bad compared to last year. But last year I was surprised as well, because you're playing Europa at the same time playing and the Premiership. Premier League, you've done really well, and this year around you're playing Champions League, so there's a big difference and a big advantage, but we'll see if they're going to be consistent.
Thank you. I think time will tell with regards to that, but we'll see. Pamodu, what did you make of Arsenal's game and result, and what do you see after Christmas period, Arsenal moving forward in the competition and the league?
I just feel like with a fully fit squad, and I've been hearing Arsenal fans saying that they're a great team. If you don't get out of the group, then Arsenal shouldn't show their face. So I didn't watch the game. I expected Arsenal to get out of the group. It is what it is. In terms of December and stuff, Arsenal are the team that I'm least worried about in terms of, even challenging. I don't even think they'll get close this season. We have so many injuries, and we're 6 points behind you guys. I don't even
How many injuries did Arsenal have?
Listen,
Okay,
let me land.
Okay, let's just keep it.
Arsenal have, Modu?
Alka, let's just keep it until you finish.
Why are you
We'll move
talking
on.
We're
about
gonna keep it.
injuries?
We're gonna keep it. I need to
Don't talk
respond.
about. Why are you talking about
Hold on.
injuries to me?
Yeah, go on, Mulder. Just finish your point and then we'll move on to Alka.
Right. Thank you. So what I'm saying is, yeah, with all the injuries that Man United have, we're 6 points behind this team. Nah, man. But anyway, well done, I guess.
Thank you
That's
for
it.
your point there. Thank you for your point there, Modu. We appreciate your analysis of it. Alka, we just want to keep it nice and healthy. So let's just give each other a chance to finish our points before we question whatever.
Yeah.
Now is your chance. You have the floor. You can respond to that as well as tell us what you thought about Arsenal performance and the scoreline.
No. One thing I want to say, every week Modu will come to this platform and keep telling us about injuries and that. Fam, we have injuries here, and you haven't had any Arsenal fan that mentioned. And we have key players.
What injuries have you got?
Listen.
Modu,
We're still winning. We're still
Modu,
winning
listen.
without injuries. We're still winning without our injuries. We're still putting performance without our injuries. Whether people say our performance are not matched to last season, yes, but we're still winning matches without our best players, and these are key players that start for Arsenal. I can name you for that. Maybe you can say Timber is not. It just came in, so you cannot name Timber, right? But Thomas Partey is one of our key players. He's been missing how many games this season? Injury. We cannot blame that. Jesus is being on and off with injuries this season. Yeah, we played yesterday without Eddie. We played without a striker yesterday. We played Trossard, number 9, right? We without how to call it, Smith-Rowe. You understand? Whether people will say he's not playing well this season, yes, but it's still squad depth. You understand? We got about 5 players. Odegaard is out. About 6 players out. We still going there. We're not giving excuses. We don't worry because this is mentality. When you say mentality, this is what we call mentality and ambitious. Yeah, we don't want to listen. We don't want to give excuses for the manager. Oh, you have injuries. You have this. No, I'm not buying into that, and I'm not going to sit here and excuse my players because of injury. They have to perform. Whether we have injuries or not, they have to go out there and perform. The team, any team that he put out there, have to perform. So I believe, people are not giving Arsenal up to the credit. We have a squad, and we're not crying like other teams, other fans, whatever. What they're crying about their player. The manager is still going on, playing his team and winning matches. Yes, we lost few games. That's true. But to sit there and say, oh, we have, we say 6 points. That 6 points, like I said, that 6 points could be 15. Come 5 games time, it could be 15. Yeah? Don't sit there and lie to yourself, okay? Let me come to the game now.
We just move on to the performance and the scoreline.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want...
No, Modu, let's wait for him to finish.
No. There's no point responding. Don't worry. We're moving on now.
Yeah, go on. Alka, what did you make of the performance?
Yeah, what I want to say, you know what? Boy, when I look at that game, but I was worried though. Like, I spoke to Modu in it last week. No, is it last week or week before last about the Sevilla? When we went away. But I was really worried, man. That's why Saini just wanted to close down the group, man. Saini, you forgot. Anyway, I'll move on.
Yeah.
So I was worried. But when they came yesterday, the game started 10, 15 minutes, up to 20-something minutes. I'm like, bro, I'm not worried with it. I was relaxed, but because I didn't see any point where Sevilla have dominated Arsenal or even go. You know what happened? They have 2 touches in the box. 2 touches, full 90 minutes. That tells you I was really relaxed on that game. When they scored 2-0, up to 80-something, I'm like, you know what, let me switch and just go and watch United's game. But it was a comfortable win, man. Comfortable win. And yesterday was the day that I've seen Trossard and Saka, like, they really played. They're back to their best, yesterday. They remind me, like, when they were playing last season, especially Saka. Saka was unbelievable, man, yesterday. An assist and a goal. He was man of the match. So I'm really, happy with the performance. So I expect, more performance. Like Modu said, we're going to go out of the group, regardless we lose our last 2 games.
Thank you, Alka. We're gonna move on.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I'll quickly give my insight of the game. Just for people who say about injuries and whatnot, we need to remember when we play Man City, when they didn't have Rodri, the first thing they said was they didn't have Rodri or Kevin De Bruyne. We've been playing teams without our best players. Partey, Saka's been injured a number of times. We've had Martinelli injured. We've had Saliba injured. No one ever says, "Oh, Arsenal lost to City 2-1." They played better than City on that New Year's Day, but they didn't have Partey. They didn't have this. They didn't have that. They didn't have Saliba. So I think we need to stop doing that. We just need to base the team on the squad they have and what the performance is. In terms of the performance, I was like Alka, you alluded to earlier. It was a very comfortable performance from Arsenal. We nullified the attacking players of Sevilla. We reduced them to one shot on target the whole game. Saka, Martinelli back at their best. They played really well. We saw Kai Havertz have the best game in an Arsenal shirt. I'm not saying he played amazing, but that's the best he's played in an Arsenal shirt, and we expect more from him still. So I'm just still supporting him. I'm still behind him, and we'll call him out when he has a bad game. But I hope he steps up to the plate and ends up doing well. In terms of the injuries that we have, we're going to need these guys to come back as soon as possible. The likes of Martin Odegaard, the likes of Jesus, they're very they're very integral to our team. So I hope they come back very soon because games are coming in thick and fast.
There's rumors that Partey is out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, especially over the Christmas period. So yeah,
we've got
a new. I've heard what you said. Yeah, we've got a new joiner to the panel. I'd like to welcome Babudi. Babudi, if you can hear me, can you quickly just give an introduction of who you are and who you support? Okay, it seems like Babudi is away from his screen at the moment. So we'll move on now to the rest of. I'll give everyone a quick minute and a half just to give us an insight of who they think the strongest teams are and who has a bigger chance of winning the Champions League, should I say? Sorry, and we'll move on swiftly. If anyone has an objection to anybody's comments,
I'll go first.
Just wait. Sorry, 2 seconds. Just if anyone has a question or an objection, just wait till that person's finished and then we put it in the end. And I'll go with the person who's been waiting the longest. Bibu, you've been waiting the longest. We'll go around that way so people aren't waiting too long before they speak. Bibu, can you just give us an insight of what you think, what teams you think are strongest and are most likely to winning the Champions League this season?
I reckon the Champions League will be between Madrid and City.
And why do you see that? You've got a minute and a half to give us your.
Madrid will probably edge it. They squad, their strength, and in every position is just unreal, and they're so gelled together. And but City as well, with Pep can just pull anything out of the box. He's just tactically he's good, and to me they're outstanding. Both teams they just got a good strength in each position in that field. So yeah, I'll go with those two teams, mate. They're really strong. They're the strongest, to my own opinion, they're the strongest in the Champions League.
Yeah, thank you, Bibu. Thank you, Bibu. Van, we'll move on to you next. Who do you believe is in line of winning, or do you think the champions will retain the trophy? You've got a minute and a half just to decide.
Of course, Man United. No, that's a joke. For me, I think I'll go with Bibu for City and Madrid, and I'll also throw in Bayern Munich. So if these three teams can avoid each other to the semis, one of them is going to win it, in my own opinion.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Modi, we'll come on to you next. You've heard a question. What is your take on it?
Mute. You're on mute.
You're on mute.
Yeah, I think Atletico Madrid are going to win it. Atletico Madrid, Diego Simeone. Personally, I think retaining the Champions League is very hard, and City will find out. But saying that, City are one of the favourites. So are Real Madrid. Every team that's in it has a chance, to be honest, because you never know. Arsenal have a chance, but I think they'll bottle it. Yeah. How long have I got left?
You've got a minute left.
All right. I just want to respond to Sol, yeah? Listen.
Yeah.
So last season, when you had Saliba and Jesus out, wasn't you saying we had our defender out? Wasn't your fan base saying you had your defender out? And you're on mute, by the way. Stay on mute. And the thing is, yeah, let me tell you one other thing. Go look at the table. We're 6 points behind you. Why are you mad that I'm stating the truth? I'm just saying. We're 6 points behind you. Why are you mad that I'm stating the truth?
I agree.
Yeah? Because Man United as a club, let me just finish. Man United as a club, everyone knows is in disarray. I'm just not talking about the injuries. You put stuff in the group, laughing at the club, the roof is leaking, blah, blah, blah. For a club in disarray, why are you 6 points ahead of us, though? You guys are
But last
supposed
year,
to be so good.
1 minute. Last year you've been 6 points behind Arsenal.
Let's
What
not talk
happened?
about last year. I'm
No,
talking
no,
about
no.
this year.
Where did he end up? How many
What are you
points did he
talking
end up with
about?
Arsenal?
Okay, Modu, we're gonna move on. You've
How
All
many
right,
did
no
he there
problem.
now?
been within
How
that
many
minute
did
and a half.
there?
No problem.
Okay, you've got a minute and a half. Tell us who
Now
you
you know
think.
what? With Champions League, I don't want to say much. You're saying it. But all I'm gonna say here, my favorites. Don't ask me why and this, because if you ask me why, we're gonna be here all night. So I'll just say my favorites. That's it. So for me, my favorites is City, Real Madrid, Bayern, and Arsenal. Arsenal is my fourth favorite. I don't see anyone is better than Arsenal.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I don't see anyone.
With the
Fourth
Champions
favorite.
League, I think with the Champions League, in my opinion, City are still the number one favourites, but like most alluded to earlier, it's very hard to retain. I also think Real Madrid are a big, obviously in the running of winning it. Bayern is also in there, and I also believe Arsenal has a big chance to, if we come back with our players in the second half of the season. But we'll see. We'll see when the time comes to it. But anyways, guys, we'll move on to this weekend's Premiership matches that are happening. So we'll start off and make our predictions, and then we'll wait and go into the big games and see what we believe is going to happen over the weekend. So unfortunately, we don't have any Chelsea fans at the moment because Babudi's away from his screen, and any Tottenham fans. So we'll leave the big six till last anyway. So Crystal Palace are playing Everton at Crystal Palace. Bibu, what do you see? How do you see the game finishing?
I reckon it's going to be a draw. Palace are playing well, and Everton as well. Now they're picking up form. So I'll just go for a draw.
What draw? What scores are you thinking?
I'm thinking 1-1.
1-0.
Yeah.
Van, what do you think of Palace Everton? I think you're on mute, Van.
I reckon Palace is gonna win 2-1.
2-1 Palace. Yeah, happy days. Modu, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Everton will win. What was it? Everton and Palace, yeah?
Yeah, is that Palace?
Yeah. So I think Everton, they're starting to find their feet on the Sean Dyche, and I think it's a perfect game for them. Probably like there won't be more than a goal in it, but I'll go for Everton 1-0.
Yeah, Alka, what do you think of the game? How do you predict?
Oh, you know, this one is a bit hard, you know, because Everton one thing when I look at Everton's game, they're good away from home. They're very good. They do counter attack football. So, and Palace, they had a very good win last week against Burnley. So it's gonna be tough. I wanted to go for a home side, but I'll go for a draw. 1-1.
1-1 draw.
Did people say 1-1?
Yeah, Bibu said 1-1 as well. Yeah.
I'll change it. I'll go 2-2. I'll go for 2-2.
Happy days. I'll go for a 2-1 win to Crystal Palace. They're playing at home, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Villa Fulham is at Villa Park. Bibu, what do you think the outcome of that game will be?
Is Villa and who?
Villa and Fulham at Villa Park.
2-1 to Villa.
Happy days. Van, what do you think? I know you have a special place in your heart for Villa. So Villa playing against Fulham at Villa Park.
Yeah, for sure. But the thing is, Villa at the minute, they're not consistent in terms of, you know, they win today, next day they will lose. But I'll go for a 3-1 Villa win.
Happy days. Modu, what do you think?
Yeah, having played Fulham last week, they can't score goals to save their lives. So I'll probably say Villa 2-0.
2-0 Villa. Okay, how do you see that game finishing?
Yeah, even though Van made a good point saying they're not consistent. 1 week today they will win, next week they go away and lose. But their home form at Villa Park is very good. So, and when I watched Fulham last week against United, well, like Pam said, they can't score, man. So I have to give it to Villa. I'm gonna go for the 3-0 Villa.
3-0 Villa.
Yeah.
Happy days. I'm gonna go for 4-1 Villa. We've seen Watkins, he's on form. McGinn's on form. He's creating. Sometimes I'm even mistaking him for uh, James Madison. That's a joke, by the way. Don't come for me, Mon. Yeah, so we've got Brighton hosting Sheffield Wednesday at the Amex Stadium. Bibu, how do you see that finishing?
I'll go for Brighton 2-0.
2-0 Brighton.
Yeah.
And Van, how do you see that game finishing at the Amex Stadium?
You know, for Brighton as well, they're feeling the effects of playing in Europe. You know? So they've kind of lost form a bit. But I'll give them the win. I'll give them a 2-0 Brighton win.
2-0. Modu, how do you see that game finishing?
Who they playing against?
Sheffield.
Oh, Sheffield. That's a tough one because Sheffield, they can be unpredictable. But I'll just edge it Brighton 2-1.
Yeah. Alka, how do you see that game finishing at the Amex Stadium?
Where is it? At the Amex?
Yeah.
I'll go for Brighton to win. But Sheffield had a good win last week, though. But their confidence is going to be increased. But I'll still go for the home side, Brighton. Yeah, I'll go for Brighton 3-1.
Yeah. I'm going to go for a draw because we've seen Brighton, once they have a tough game in Europe, they struggle on the weekend. We've seen Sheffield United, they put up a very good fight. Hopefully their players have come back. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 draw. D, are you available? Can you hear us?
Yeah.
We're just doing a prediction on Brighton versus Sheffield United. The game is at the Amex Stadium on
Brighton
Sunday.
3-0.
Brighton 3-0.
Yeah. Easy game.
Happy days. And we've got West Ham against Nottingham Forest. Again, it's at Olympic Stadium. How do you see that game finishing?
Sorry, what was that? Yeah.
So we've got West Ham United facing Nottingham Forest at the Olympic Stadium. How do you see that game finishing?
I reckon a draw, because Forest are playing well as well. They've conceded goals the past couple of games, but they're playing really well. I'll go for 1-1 draw.
Happy 1-0 draw. Happy days.
Yeah.
So now we'll move on to the big six. We got Wolverhampton hosting Tottenham Hotspur at the Molineux Stadium on Saturday. How do we see that game finishing? I'll start with you, Beaver.
The thing is, I reckon Tottenham will just win. Tottenham are on form. It's just unlucky last game, but honestly, they are on form. And if you look at how the midfield is, the way they play, they're sitting. I just love the style of play that they're playing for good football. So I'll go for Tottenham. 2-1.
2-1 Tottenham. Van, how did you see that game finishing at Molineux? The early kickoff, 12:30.
Yeah, I'll give Tottenham the win. I'll go 3-1 Tottenham.
3-1 Tottenham. Modu, how did you see that game finishing at the Molineux? Early kickoff.
Yeah, difficult game because Wolves. I'm a big fan of Gary O'Neill. Wolves are good, but I think 2-1 Wolves.
2-1 Wolves.
Yeah.
Alka, how did you see that game finishing?
2-0 Wolves. I don't see Tottenham winning this game anyway. Because number one, they have injuries, and I think they're gonna be without Madison as well. They're gonna be without Eric Dyer is gonna come back to the team. So and Wolves beat Man City. So and it's gonna be at Molineux. So I don't. If Tottenham win, I'll be surprised. So I'm going 2-0 Wolves.
Yeah, Babudi, how did you see that game finishing? 12:30 kickoff, the early kickoff between Tottenham Hotspur and Wolverhampton Wanderers at Molineux.
Yeah, I think 2-2. I think with the injuries, Spurs are going to struggle a little bit, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think Spurs have lost their backbone. They've lost Van der Ven. They've lost Romero due to suspension. Actually, is he playing? Because I've heard he's Romero. I heard the red card He's only serving a 1-game ban, or is it actually?
No. It's gonna be a 3-game, but
okay. So if they've lost both their starting centre backs and they've lost Odugu, and I heard Madison might be a doubt as well. I believe they'll lose that game because Wolverhampton are playing very good football. So
Richarlison is out for months. He's going for a
I'm
surgery.
gonna give it to Wolverhampton 2-1 on that one. We'll move on to Newcastle Bournemouth. They're playing at in Newcastle Bournemouth. Sorry, Bibu, how do you see that finishing? Newcastle versus Bournemouth.
I know I'm a fan of Newcastle recently with their style of play, but I think they're gonna draw that game. 0-0.
0-0.
Yeah.
Van, how do you see that finishing off?
Newcastle Bournemouth.
Newcastle Bournemouth, yeah.
In Bournemouth.
Newcastle will win 2-0.
2-0 Newcastle. Modo, how do you see that game finishing?
Yeah, I think both teams will score, but I'll edge it Newcastle 2-1.
And Alka?
1-1 for me.
1-1. Baudi, how do you see that Newcastle Bournemouth game at Bournemouth? Yeah, I'm gonna go for a Newcastle win. I think Newcastle will win 2-1 on that one because their squad is way better than Bournemouth's squad, and bear in mind they've lost a game on Tuesday. They're gonna want to come out and pay for that. We'll move on to the Man United versus game. That's at Old Trafford. And I'll start with you, Bibu. How do you see that game finishing?
United.
Yeah, that'll be easy win for United. That'll be 3-1.
3-1 United.
Wow, the guy's confident. 3-1. Wow.
Van, how do you see that game finishing at Old Trafford?
Yeah, I think it's a must-win game. We have to win that. Even though obviously we're not in the best of form right now or in a good place, but we're playing Luton and we need to win. We have to win. So I'm gonna go for 3-0 United.
3-0 United. Yeah. Modo, how do you see that game finishing at Old Trafford?
4-0 United. You know Luton, 4-0 United, because Luton, they came to the Premier League. No one's giving them a proper slapping. I think we should give them a slapping, like remind them of who they are. So 4-0.
Alka, what do you think about that game?
You know what? Yeah. Well, I didn't watch that game last week against Liverpool. I didn't watch it. I had Van, because Van hosted last Sunday, so he was talking about it. But I was gonna say United to win, but again, United they're not even convincing me that they can score goal or they can even keep a lead. You understand? So, and then they have a draw against Liverpool, so that's going to increase their confidence. I'm going to go for a surprise Luton win, 1-0 Luton.
Okay, I think I'm going to, based on what I saw yesterday.
I'm going to go Luton, man. I'm sorry.
Based on what I've seen on previous games and yesterday, I'm going to give it to Luton. I think Luton will win 2-1, just based on mentality, emotions and game management and your defense. I'm going to give it 2-1 to Luton. Babudi, how do you see that game finishing at Old Trafford, Luton versus Man United?
I'm just trying to figure out if you guys are for real or you're joking. Because
why are you questioning?
No, I'm actually questioning thinking that Luton are going to beat United.
I'm just going off what I've seen in the last.
Yeah. Nah, fair enough. But I think United will win.
Yeah, they can win. They can win. But my predictions are I'm basing it on Luton and how United are performing. So
yeah, United 3-0 for me.
3-0 United.
Can I just mention something? Alka keeps crying when people give Arsenal negative what's it called? Negative prediction.
Yeah.
So don't come back here crying. Yeah?
No,
wait. You're gonna have the opportunity.
Wait.
You're gonna have the opportunity to do that because the next game I'm gonna ask you to predict is Arsenal versus Burnley. So yeah, we'll do that. Okay, go on.
Let me respond. No, let me respond to Van. Last week, did Van predict Arsenal to win? None of them predict Arsenal to win.
He was right though.
Yeah, but no. What did
Yeah,
Van
yeah.
guys?
What I'm saying, that's not a problem. I'm saying,
Yeah.
because I predicted Newcastle to win based
No,
on.
you didn't predict Newcastle to do. You said a draw.
Well, yeah, okay, whatever. If I
You
predicted
said
draw,
2-2
that's
draw.
fine.
I don't cry.
I
Why
didn't.
did
I didn't.
cry
I didn't. Yeah, the bottom line is I didn't fancy Arsenal to win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
why
then
but you were saying to was one of the United supporters. I can remember you were saying they never give Arsenal a positive result.
No. Why I said this? When we play Man City, you don't give Arsenal credit.
No,
You
not
said-
me, not on the group. I'm on about when we were on here.
Yeah.
When we were doing the prediction.
Okay, we'll move
Nah,
on.
I don't remember saying that anyway.
Yeah, we'll move
Okay.
on to the next game anyway. Sorry, Bibo, I'll start with you. Arsenal versus Burnley at the Emirates Stadium. Burnley has yet to register a win in the Premier League, and Arsenal coming off that 2-0 win in Europe. How do you see that game finishing?
Burnley will need 5-0. I'm joking. I'm joking. Uncle was about to jump there. Nah, it'll be Arsenal winning 3-0, mate.
3-0 Arsenal. Fair enough. Van, how do you see that finishing on the Emirates?
Arsenal against Burnley.
Yeah.
Burnley. Now
Burnley.
I'll go for a 1-1 draw.
I don't even believe that.
Yeah.
Pams,
Based on Arsenal had won in the Champions League, and I think they're gonna drop off a bit, and then Burnley will surprise them. So I'll go for a 1-1 draw.
That's
But
fair
they
enough.
haven't had a win this season.
That's fair enough. Pams, it's going to be interesting to hear what you're going to go with in terms of results. Bear in mind, Burnley has not registered a win yet, and Arsenal are just coming off a very good performance in Europe. How do you believe the players are going to respond from both teams, and who do you see winning?
So they're facing the perfect oppositions then. They haven't registered a win. Welcome to Arsenal. Now I'm joking. Nah, it's gonna be difficult for Burnley, man, because the style they play is not sustainable in the Prem with the players that they have. So I think Arsenal 3-2. But Burnley will score. Yeah.
Fair enough. Alka, how do you see Arsenal finishing that game at the Emirates?
Yeah, not an easy game to run. There's no easy game in the Premier League. There's no easy game in the Premier. I have to make this clear because Van keep running on me. Van and Pamudu, they keep coming to me telling me, "Oh, you said this, you said this." I've never said there's easy game in the Premier League. Number one, that's why I have to start with that before they can come for me. Anyway, I'm gonna say like 3-0. They might score, you know, but I'll go for 3-0.
Fair one.
Now, can you change that, please? Because I said 3-0. Can you change that?
Okay. I'll go for 2-0.
I like that these days you are becoming more humble.
I'm humble, man. I've been humble forever, man.
Guys, we're gonna move. We're gonna move on. We haven't got much time left.
Humble.
We haven't got much time left. We're gonna move on. Babudi, how do you see Arsenal Burnley finishing off at the Emirates?
2-0 Arsenal.
2-0 Arsenal.
I said
Yeah,
2-0. I said 2-0. So change your scores.
Why don't you change yours?
No, I went before you, so you change your
I'm
scores.
gonna go for a low scoring win for Arsenal. I think it'll be either a 1-0 or 2-0 as well, because they're gonna come and commit a low block and try to counter Arsenal. So it's gonna be hard to break them down. But yeah, it's gonna be a low scoring game, I believe. So that leaves us with Liverpool and Brentford at Anfield. How do you see that going?
That's a tough game.
I will go for a ball draw, 0-0.
Okay, 0-0, Bibu. Van, how do you see that game finishing at Anfield? You're on mute. We can't hear you.
Sorry, Liverpool and who again?
Brentford.
That's a tough game.
That's a tough game, man. Is it home for Brentford?
Anfield.
Nah, I think Liverpool's gonna win. I'll go for a 3-1 Liverpool win.
3-1 Liverpool. Happy days. Modu, Anfield, we know what the crowd's like at Anfield, and
Yeah.
your favorite striker in the world, Darwin Núñez, is probably gonna get minutes. How do we see that finishing?
Yeah, I think 2-1 Liverpool, because if it was at Brentford, I think Brentford could beat them, but no at Anfield, and Liverpool lost tonight as well. So yeah,
They lost.
they lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3-2.
Yeah, Europa League.
Is your favorite striker gonna be on the score sheets? Would you say Darwin Núñez?
He ain't my favorite striker. Osimhen is my favorite striker, but yeah, the striker that's better than Eddie Nketiah will most likely be out of score sheets. Yes.
I want to ask this question quickly. Is Eddie getting better than Martial?
Alka, no, we gotta move on because we haven't got enough time. Alka, Liverpool versus Brentford at Anfield. How do we see that finishing?
Boy, this game is a tough game. You've been saying it, and I was saying it's a tough game. It's a tough game for Liverpool, and Brentford. They won away to the Big Six, away to Chelsea, and it was not an easy game for them. So, and they're gonna play the same style, counter-attack football, and they're very good at that transition. So, I'll go for a Brentford win 1-0.
Happy days, Brentford 1-0.
I'll go for Brentford.
How do you see Anfield after the 90 minutes?
3-0 Liverpool.
2-0 Liverpool.
3-3.
3-0 Liverpool. Okay. I'm going to go for a Liverpool win as well. I think it will be a slight, not a high scoring win, but narrow win. I'll go for a 1-0 win, Liverpool, with a clean sheet. And last but not least, title of the podcast tonight: are Chelsea going to stop Man City at Stamford Bridge, or is it going to be a beating at Stamford Bridge? We've seen what happened there a couple of weeks ago when Arsenal went to Stamford Bridge. Can they replicate that performance against a Man City team that I would compare to Arsenal, because Arsenal play similar style of football. Obviously, they're more superior in that style of football in the recent years. So I'll start with you, Bibu.
I'll go for City, man. 2-1, man.
2-1 City.
Yeah.
Okay. Vanna, how do you see that going?
Stamford Bridge. I'll go 2-0 City.
2-0 City. Nice one.
Wow.
Modu,
Someone is giving Chelsea a chance.
Modu, what do you make of the game?
Yeah, again, Chelsea will put up a fight, but I've never seen such a weak club, like in terms of finishing, man. Like, I just want to say this quickly. At least Man United, yeah, when we're going through hard times, like we might do like a Brentford 2-1 last minute win, 1-0 Fulham. Chelsea are hopeless. You see that game against Tottenham? That's the worst 4-1 I've ever seen. No, let me finish saying it. It's part of the package. Let me finish.
Yeah, say the
It's part of the
level.
challenge, yeah. That's one of the worst. And Jackson is doing the Sue. Babudi, tell your striker not to ever do Ronaldo celebration again. Yeah, that's disrespectful. Honestly. But yeah, I say 3-0 Man City. Chelsea are rubbish.
Right. Can I just propose to the panel, just after the predictions, I'll give the floor to the panel to make a statement for why they believe their scores are going to go that way. I'll finish with Babudi last, as he's a Chelsea fan, so he can deploy what.
You haven't asked me. You haven't.
I'm coming to you. I'm just proposing this, so everyone leaves everyone to just make a quick prediction, and then we'll have it in the end. Alka, at Stamford Bridge, Man City going to wipe the floor with Chelsea, or are Chelsea going to stop Man City? And what's your score?
No, you know what? This game is another tough game for both sides, for Chelsea and Man City. Because I think Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, like, especially me, before we played them, I didn't underestimate them, but I was surprised their performance against Arsenal. I was very surprised. So I think what Chelsea will do is they will come strong with this game. This is a big game. They will not want to lose, and it's a home game, so they got the home advantage. So I think it's gonna be, everybody's giving City the favorites. Nobody's giving Chelsea a chance, and this is where maybe Chelsea will turn up. So I'll go for it. Even though Chelsea struggle to score, but I'll go for a 2-2 draw.
Thank you, Alka. Babdi, just before I come to you, I'd like to give my prediction so I can let you have the floor. I think it's going to be a clean sheet for Man City, because as we saw the other day against 9-man Tottenham, Chelsea were still struggling to score until Ange decided to deploy an attacking football and left acres of space for the strikers to run into. So Man City are not going to give them any space in behind, and I don't see them scoring against Man City. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 win Man City. But Babadi, as a Chelsea fan, what are you expecting to see from your manager? What sort of style of football? And do you think he should respect position in the champions coming to your home ground? And what would you recommend and expect your players to do on the pitch against Man City?
Obviously, everyone's got to respect City, bro. They're the champions. But it's a tough game for us, isn't it? Because I don't think we're there yet to compete with City, if I'm being honest. I mean, we're getting there, but we're not there yet. So I'll say it's a tough game. I'm not gonna sit here and say we're gonna batter City, but if we score first, I think we have a slight chance. That's what I think. And what I'm gonna finish with is, if you're gonna come for me, Model, when my striker scores 2, we win the game. Yeah?
Right.
When
Right.
your striker scores 2, you still lose the game. So don't come for my
Okay.
striker, or don't sit there and say, yeah, Chelsea, you're hopeless. Bro, you're hopeless as well, bro. You're no better
Okay.
than me. You're 3 points better than me in the league. So I don't know why you're coming for Chelsea. It doesn't make
Okay.
any sense. You're
Okay.
3
Should I
points
tell you why
better
I'm
than me.
coming for Chelsea?
The way you're screaming, you're 6 points behind Arsenal. We're 9 points behind Arsenal. We can scream that as well. You're just 3 points better than us. So if there's
Okay.
hopeless, we're both hopeless.
Okay.
So I don't know why you're coming for me saying, speak to your striker. Bro, my striker banked 3 and we won the game. Your striker banked 2 and you still lost the game. So what are you on
Okay.
Yeah,
about?
Babadi,
I'd
just
rather have my
before
striker.
we
I'd
let,
rather have my striker. I'll just say that. I'd
before we
rather have
let,
my
before we
striker.
let
Don't
Babadi,
come for me calling us hopeless, bro. You're no
Babadi, can
better
I
than
just
us.
ask, what do you
Man
expect
City, yeah.
your manager to deploy?
Makes no sense, bro.
Babadi, as a Chelsea fan, I just would like you
Yeah.
to tell the viewers and explain what kind of football are you expecting your manager to deploy and your players to play against a Man City team
Right
that is
now, we don't even have a playing style. If I'm being honest, we don't have a playing style, so we can't sit here and say, this is what we expect him to do. Is fix up a team that can compete, not fix up a team that can just sit back and just wait for City to do damage. You can't do that. But right now, I can't really say, this is what I expect from my team, because nobody knows what you're gonna expect from Chelsea. They might turn up like that, how they turn up with Arsenal, or they might turn up like how they turn up with Brentford. You never know what to expect. So I really don't know what playing style I can think, this is what he needs to do. He knows what he needs to do as a manager, but is the other players going to turn up? That's the question.
yeah. I think
So
Chelsea should deploy the same tactics they deployed against Arsenal, because if they get into the faces of the Man City midfield early and confront them early on their first touches, I think it will give them less time to pick passes and create space between the midfield and the defense, because Man City are a very attacking football and possession-based team. The reason why they keep possession is to create those openings, those pockets between midfield and defense. So if you sit back and allow them to pick passes, it's going to be very hard for you to compete against them. Which is why I'm saying maybe you guys should deploy the same style of football you did against Arsenal, get into their
yeah,
face,
but obviously
them.
that's what we're gonna do. But that's what I'm saying. It depends if the players are wanting to turn up.
I know, but you
Because
mentioned that you don't know what kind of Chelsea, what
yeah,
style they.
but saying City are not Arsenal, man.
Well,
City are
two
not
seconds.
Arsenal. That's a different approach, bro.
That's not. I'm not gonna. I'm agreeing with
City
that.
make you
What
City
I'm
make you
saying is,
lose sleep, bro.
let me tell you one thing. This is, you're laughing, and I get it. They're the team to beat. Yeah. But if you see Arsenal and City have the same sort of like playing style, like I alluded to earlier, but obviously City are more superior than Arsenal in that
What?
style of football.
I don't
But
think you have the
however,
same playing style. I don't think
but
you have the
however,
same playing style.
however, we've seen Arsenal play them twice this season and beat them twice. Maybe
Yeah,
if you play the
that's
same,
because you guys had a game plan. It doesn't mean you guys have the same playing style. Usually, you guys
okay,
had a game plan. Yeah,
we had a game plan against City.
yeah,
Okay, and that game plan worked
works.
according to
Yeah,
what City played. That's exactly what I'm saying to you. If City play you, they're not going to come and play you how they played against Arsenal. They're going to come and try to take
yeah,
control of the game, and
yeah.
that's what I'm saying to you. To stop them from having all that space in behind the defense or between defense and midfield, you're going to have to confront those midfielders early on their first touch to stop them from creating those spaces behind. Because we know Foden and
I get
Alvarez.
what you're saying.
So that's what I'm trying to say to
I
you.
get what you're saying, but that's what I said at the start. We're not there yet. I get what you're saying, and it's a good style of play against City, but we're not there yet. Arsenal, however, they're already there. That's why when they played against City, they gave City a tough time but we're not there yet. We need to build to get there.
That's fair enough.
I don't think we have. Well, we have the personnel, but I just don't think that players are hungry enough.
Okay, that's fair enough. Max, welcome to the podcast. You're almost in very late because we're nearly done here. Well, can you quickly just introduce yourself and who you support?
You know, I came earlier on. Whenever Arsenal fans are hosting, it's always a problem. You leave me in the background. I sent you the number of minutes I spent. I had everything that has been going in the podcast here.
Oh, Fox was calling me.
If I call Alka, he will act like, yeah. Next time.
No, I'm using my phone.
Okay. Well, it's very, very, very. They are biased. Anyway, I just don't want to waste time. But Seni, now Alabadio. All right, I want to just conclude one thing. I had all the prediction that all of you made because I was in the background listening. I mean, but mine, I just want to go straight to the Chelsea Man City game. I don't know how you people analyze football and then how you look at things, but my analysis is always different. Okay, when I look at Pochettino, I look at the record he have against City at the crucial dying minutes with the caliber of players he had when he was managing Tottenham. You remember the Championship, which was more powerful, more chaos, and then he still humiliated City in that dimension. So now I believe with Chelsea and City, I am predicting 2-1. And I know that 2-1 to Chelsea. Chelsea will win Manchester City 2-1. And then Chelsea on that day, they will come surprisingly. All the boys will be ready. They will build up, despite they are useless, but they will put up a very big surprise for the entire United Kingdom. They will come and they will humiliate Manchester City in front of everybody. Take it from me.
Chelsea fan.
Yesterday I mentioned.
I'm not a Chelsea fan. I'm not a Chelsea fan. But I know that the type of players Chelsea have, they can do anything.
Fax, yesterday I said to you, whatever yogurt or cream that you had yesterday was out of date. I'm hoping today you.
Because
No, I didn't have any yet. I'm going to have it later. But anyway, it is a very good one. And then regarding the Liverpool game against Brentford, I had other predictions. But for that one too, I favor Brentford over Liverpool because Liverpool is also going down the drain seriously. So apart from that, everything gone good. Unless you have a question for me, I don't want to drag you back because time is.
Just before we go, we're right over, just a couple of minutes over the time. But I just want to pose this to every club, and I just want a fan to respond to the question. In the next transfer window, for United, Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans, what are you hoping your team does in terms of how many players you want realistically, in terms of financial and the availability of the players? How many players do you want and who? And how you can move on from that position? And I'll give every person a minute and a half to just go through that quickly.
Can I speak first?
I'll go with you.
Because,
you came last.
Okay. Manchester United, we need 22 players. I'm going to tell you why. Okay. The reason why is, you remember...
Realistically,
wait. I know. Realistically, I'm trying to tell you. Just listen to me. I'm speaking in a verge of realistic here. We need 22 players. The reason why I say that we need to change the entire team. Everybody need to go. But now, to be honest with you, we need to do like Barcelona did. When they were crumbling, they were going down. They traveled to South America. They went to pick up raw talents. They went to pick up players. They scouted very good players to the South American League, and then they go to Africa and get good players. This is what Manchester United should do. We should stop buying big. We should stop buying big players. We should stop buying scammers. They scam us already. just useless players. Their careers are over, and then they scam us and give us those players. We buy them. We need raw talents. Let us travel to South America, travel to Africa, even China. We go and buy quality players. But for my
Thank
team,
you very much. Thank you very much. Your point, raw talent, travel to South America, and 22 players. Thank you so much. Bibi, I'll move on to you. Is realistically, based on availability and financially, how many players does Man United need to go out and get, and how would you move on from that in January?
I think we need 5 players. That's all.
Not what you need. Realistically, what you can get based on financial fair play and the money you've got available, availability of the players. That's the question I'm asking. Not what you need.
Yeah, 5. If we got 3 players going, we 5. Yeah, 5 because you need
we need Manchester United need players, boy.
Yeah, we do. But then in fact, the trouble is we cannot have all those 22 players, mate. So
yeah,
in the space of 2 years, 3 years, after 3 years, yes. But for now, you have to play with what you've got. So
what positions are you looking to improve?
So I'll striker, one more striker, right? Yeah.
Yes, striker. I agree.
A winger, yeah.
I agree.
2 midfielders.
Midfield.
2
Yeah.
midfielders. Right? And sorry, yeah, 2 midfielders and 2 defenders.
Okay, thank you very much, Bibu. Modo, I'll move on to you. Again, I pose this question realistically and based on availability of players. How many and in what positions?
Yeah, I think in the January transfer window, realistically, I think we can get 2. If we sell Varantus to the Arabs, we can bring in John Tadibo from Nice, future top centre back, and then the other one is striker. We need a support for Hoyland, so I would love Ivan Toney, but we are not gonna. We can't. I don't think we'll pay that much. So we get Mehdi Taremi from Porto.
Yeah, thank you, Modu. Appreciate that. Alka, on to you next. Realistically, based on availability and money, how many players and in what position? Realistically.
For United.
No, you're an Arsenal fan.
Your team,
my
team,
yeah.
Right.
My team. No, if it's United, I'm not gonna answer.
No. We're just doing your team. Tell us what.
I know. That's why I'm asking in it. But yeah, my team, Arsenal, realistic. If we get all the money that we want, yeah, you're looking at least 5 players, 4 or 5, top quality.
I don't think you're not realistically. You're not gonna get.
You are not real.
No. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Yes.
No. Yeah, okay, go on. What positions?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. January.
Yeah, in this January transfer window.
This January. No, that's different. Exactly. So this is it. It's different. January, we only need 2 top players. We need a striker. 1 minute. We need a striker, and we need 3. To be honest, a striker, another midfielder.
Not what we need. What we can realistically get. Not what we need.
That's what I'm saying. Striker, and we need another midfielder because this Kai Havertz guy is not good enough.
And
another midfielder. And another winger to help out Saka. That's it. We need 3.
Thank you so much. D, I know you've had many signings over the last couple of transfer windows. Realistically, again, I pose the question. Realistically, based on availability and finance, how many players and in what positions?
Realistically, we don't need any players because we still have injuries. We have a long list of injuries. So realistically, we don't need to sign anybody. We just need a good team that can, compete. But we have enough players, so I don't think we need any.
Okay.
That's my point. Even Arsenal don't need anything. I agree with you.
No, this said something that makes sense.
Let me just finish my one.
Do you make sense?
Realistically, for Arsenal, I believe in terms of money and availability, we can only get 2 players, and that's going to be a striker and a right winger. There's no way we're going to spend more than that. And I'm going to pose that we get Ivan Toney and Pedro Neto on the right hand side.
Pedro Neto's good.
Yeah, he's really good.
Like
and I reckon he'll push Saka, but that's based on availability of the player and financially what we can afford. I know we need 5 players in total to get that squad where we needed to. But in January, realistically, Alka, we're getting two. We're only gonna get
but Senny, sorry,
and
before you move on, we need another midfielder because there's rumors that Parde's out for the rest of the season and they're looking to offload him this January. So
if you listen to my question, is realistically, financially, and availability of the player. It doesn't matter who we need. Because
you got Vieira.
Yeah, but you know, Senny, you still not getting what I'm saying. You still not getting what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying
what I'm saying is there's rumors out there. There's rumors out there. Parde's out for the rest of the season, and Arsenal are looking to sign. Maybe they're looking at, I think, Douglas Luiz. I think that's looking to bring another midfielder because, to be honest with you, we cannot go full entire season with Jorginho and Kaiva. They're not good enough, to be honest.
Realistically, how many years did Douglas Luiz just sign for Villa? Do you think that player is available for the amount of money that we have available for January? That's what I'm saying.
Can you mute Alka? Mute Alka.
We don't know how much in the January. We don't know. We might get more money than that. We don't know. Yeah.
How much they wanted 40 million for Douglas Luiz when he had how many 1 year left on his contract. Now he's signed 4 years, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna let him go for anything less than 80 to 100 million? Realistically?
Nah, no 100. 100 is too much. No 100. He's not gonna go 100. I think you're looking at 60, 65.
He's not gonna leave anyway. Man. Villa are broke.
As of right now, Douglas Luiz is the most important player in Aston Villa. So why would they let him go for 60?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is money talks.
This is what I'm saying to you, yeah? You need to think realistically, yeah, the money and the availability of the player. We know what we need, we know what we want, but it doesn't matter what we want or what we need. I'm just saying based on realism. Yeah, someone who's signed 4 years contract and they were asking for 40 million last season when he had 1 year left on his contract. No way they're gonna let him go for less than 80 to 100 million. I can guarantee you that. Facts.
Yeah, but 1 minute. If they're selling Parde, let's say Parde is going Saudi 40 million, yeah? Can you put another 30 million and get Douglas Luiz?
What Partey has been injured, yeah, and everyone's seen he's injury prone. Who's gonna pay 40 million for Partey at 30 years old?
No,
40 years old.
Arabic people,
nobody.
They need Partey. It doesn't matter. They need Partey.
The only team that's in for Partey at this minute is Juventus, and they're talking about loan, Alka. So you got to think about all this politics behind.
I get what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying.
I'm an Arsenal fan. There's nothing more that I want more than to get these players in our team. But you have to be realistic.
What I'm saying is, you're still not getting my point. What I'm saying is, yeah, do you want to go entire season? With Kai Havertz and Jorginho? That's my question.
I understand what you're saying. What my question is, realistically, you can do it.
No. I understand what he's
trying to say. You're living in Disneyland. This is not Disneyland. This is real.
1 minute.
Mute Alka.
Let me answer Seni. Realistically, yeah, I understand what he's saying. As fans, yes, realistic. As fans, I'm gonna say whatever I want. But from the club, yeah, Ateta wants another midfielder because Partey is gonna be out for the rest of the season. So we cannot go full entire January without signing a midfield. That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys.
Buy Bruno Fernandes. Come, we sell Bruno Fernandes.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying to you now is, yeah, realistically, we can get 2 players this January. Yeah. We're not gonna go more than 2 players. I guarantee my life on that. 2 players this January.
Yeah,
if that's the case, you know why? Give me 2 seconds. Let me just finish. Do you know why? Because the only 2 players that we can go for and are available for us to get is Ivan Toney and Pedro Neto. We need another 6. But if you look across the 6s that are going to match what our playing style and what we need, they all got more than 2 years left in their contract. And we see how much DMs are going for, not less than 80 million. We've seen it in Caicedo. We've seen it in Lavia. Yeah? Someone who's had
Lavia was 48.
Let me respond to you.
Declan Rice. You got Declan Rice. Why are you worried?
Let me respond to you. 1 minute. I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. You can play. Listen, you can go to Everton here. If you're talking about, okay, the midfield 6 are going 100 million, whatever the case is, yeah? Go to Everton. Go and get Onana. You play Onana box-to-box, play Rice number 6. That's it. That's all I have to say. Because we cannot go full entire this January without a midfield I'm telling you this. If you want to base it on Jorginho and Kai Havertz,
But you got Vieira. What about Vieira?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying to you.
It's not ready. It's not ready.
That's what I'm saying to you. The board is going to turn around and say, Arteta, we've given you this
Because
amount of
if
summer, yeah?
if they're gonna sell Partey, come on.
Let me
respond
respond to you now. Let me respond to you. The club's going to look at it, yeah? They're going to say, right, we give you this amount of money, right? We bought Declan Rice in for more than 100 million. He's a 6. He can play in the 6. We've got Martin Odegaard. We've got Kai Havertz, and we've got what's it called Trossard, who can play in that number 8 as well, left sided 8. We've also got Fabio Vieira. So we'll give you 2 signings in the most prioritized positions. Go for that, and then in the summer we can then look at other options. That's what the board's gonna do. I guarantee you this.
If there's I don't disagree what you said, but if that's the case, what I'm saying is if they're selling Partey in January, they have to go and get a 6 or a 8. If you have to loan, go and loan. Because I'm not gonna sit here and wait Kai Havertz and Jorginho in that middle. I'm sorry, they're not good enough. I'm telling you,
the board's not gonna ring you, Alka, and be like, Alka, what do you think?
Because no, it's not about me.
We've been needing a striker. Last January, when we were going for the title and we were above Man City for how many weeks in the season, we needed a striker to push on and go and win that league. Yeah, we needed a right midfield to help Saka, because we saw what happened in the end. Saka dropped off. The club didn't go for any loans. They didn't go and buy any. They only bought Trossard because we were trying to get Mudryk. We didn't get Mudryk, so we went for Trossard and got him for 27 million instead. So do you now think they're gonna go and get us?
But this is it. You can go for cheaper options, Sandy. You can go for cheaper options with good players.
Like who?
You mentioned Trossard. 1 minute. We were supposed to go and sign Mudryk, but look at what we get. We get Trossard. Trossard is the better outcome. We get a better signing than Trossard and Mudryk now.
Who do you propose that we go for?
That's what I'm saying. Go to Everton. Give me Onana.
How much were they asking for Onana?
Everton are in a good team, in a good side, in a good position, whatever the case. They don't have that much money. 1 minute. Go there, put 50 million. If they turn it up, put 60, you will get him. Simple.
They're asking for 100. They're asking for 100.
How much did they ask for Onana in the summer?
1 minute. Every player, they have their price. They have their price, boy. They have. Yes.
Yeah, but answer me this question: how much were they asking in the summer for Onana? Why do you think?
I don't think we did go for Onana. I don't think we were serious enough.
Yeah, why do you think we didn't go for him? How much were they asking?
No, because your manager choose to go and sign Kai Havertz. That's 60 million.
That's why
Alka, forget about Kai Havertz. I know you don't like Kai Havertz.
That's why I'm asking you.
Now,
Kai Havertz is a good player, fam. He's a good player, bro.
How much did they ask
Kai
for?
Havertz doesn't fit our system.
How much did they ask?
He's a good player, but he needs to prove me more.
Okay, you need to know one thing, yeah. If Partey is not going to be sold. I think he's either going to be sold to the Saudis. Other than that, if it's Europe, he's going on loan. So that's just X in there.
No, he's not going loan. He's not going loan. If Partey is selling, they're selling.
What you mean he's not going on loan?
He's not going on loan. Why are we loaning Partey for?
So
why are we going to loan Partey for? We're going to get rid of Partey. Why are we going to loan Partey?
What team in Europe will have him now?
Juventus want him. Saudi want him. 2 clubs
on loan. Juventus are not going to pay money for him.
Yeah, if Juventus don't want to buy him,
the only team that's going
in the summer and sell him.
Okay, the only team that's going for Partey right now is Juve, and they're talking about loan.
You're
not talking about even price. Saudi tried to get him in the summer, and his agent came and said he's not interested in going to the Middle East. That's why Saudi have gone out completely from the deal. So don't expect Saudi to come in for him, because they've been told.
No, you never know. They might come back. Never know.
The man said he's not interested in going to live in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, but that's money talks. How many players came out and said they're not interested on this, and they end up going?
Alka, let me just tell you one thing.
My opinion, I said I have to go there and get another midfield.
Thomas Partey is a finished player. That's what you need to understand. He's finished. He's done.
We need to end the stream so we can carry on.
Yeah.
Thomas Partey is finished.
That's what I'm saying. It's finished. Yes, you're right. You agree
so who's going to pay 40 million for him? He's done,
right,
bro.
Guys,
what I'm saying is, I don't care if nobody's going to pay 40 million, but if the club are looking to get rid of him, they need to go and buy him.
Wait.
That's my point.
It's going to Walidan, Alka. Partey is going to Walidan.
Yeah, let's send it wrap up.
Yeah, thank you for joining us tonight. We've had a pleasure of having a very knowledgeable and diverse panel in terms of different teams. So it's been a pleasure having you guys tonight. Very good night to everyone at home and to the panel. Cheers. Thank you.